These are the top 5 lesbian romance movies on Netflix that everyone agrees are masterpieces. And I'm not just talking about good movies or casual recommendations. I mean the kind of films people keep bringing up years later like, no, you don't understand, you have to watch this. I didn't pick these randomly. These are the lesbian romantic movies on Netflix that have built a reputation. The ones critics respect, audiences connect with, and the WLW community continues to talk about long after the first watch. Some of them are emotional, some are deeply personal, and one of them, it's not just a love story, it's a lifetime. Stick around because this list goes from quietly powerful to completely unforgettable. And number 1 is the kind of masterpiece that reminds you love can survive almost anything. Let's get into it. Number 5 is Elisa and Marcella, 2019. This is quiet, historical brilliance. Elisa and Marcella is one of those lesbian romantic movies on Netflix that doesn't feel like it's trying to impress you, but somehow it does anyway. Set in early 1900s Spain, it tells the true story of 2 women who fall in love in a world that refuses to accept them. And when I say refuses, I mean it. Their relationship has to stay hidden. Every glance is careful. Every moment together feels like it could be taken away. But instead of giving up, they do something bold. Elisa disguises herself as a man, just so they can get married. Yeah, let that sink in. That alone is enough to make this story unforgettable, but what makes it a masterpiece is how it's told. The black and white cinematography gives it this timeless, almost poetic feel. Every scene feels intentional. Every moment carries weight. It's not loud. It's not dramatic in a flashy way. It's restrained, emotional, real. You're not just watching a romance. You're watching 2 people fight quietly, but powerfully for the right to exist together. If you're looking for lesbian films on Netflix that are artistic, meaningful, and grounded in real history, this is absolutely one of those must-watch masterpieces. Number 4 is The Half of It 2020. This one is subtle, smart, and emotionally honest. The Half of It might look like a simple coming-of-age story at first, but don't let that fool you. This is one of those good lesbian romance movies on Netflix that hits you slowly and then stays with you. It follows Ellie Chu, a quiet, introverted student who makes money writing essays for her classmates. One day, a jock hires her to write love letters to a girl named Aster. Sounds simple, right? But here's where it shifts. Ellie realizes that through those letters, she's the one connecting with Aster. She's the one sharing thoughts, emotions, and vulnerability. And suddenly, it's not just about helping someone else fall in love. It's about realizing you're already in love yourself. What makes this film a masterpiece isn't dramatic romance or big emotional speeches. It's the realism, the awkwardness, the quiet heartbreak of liking someone and not knowing if you should say anything at all. It doesn't rush. It doesn't force a perfect ending. It lets the story breathe. And that's rare. If you want lesbian romantic movies on Netflix that feel genuine, thoughtful, and emotionally intelligent, The Half of It is one of those films that earns its place as a modern classic. Number 3 is Feel Good TV series. Okay, this one is different, but trust me, it deserves to be here. Feel Good is one of those lesbian romance stories on Netflix that feels less like a scripted show and more like someone letting you into their real life. It follows May, a comedian navigating addiction, identity, and a complicated romantic relationship that is anything but simple. And that's what makes it a masterpiece. It's honest, not polished, not idealized, not perfect relationship goals. Honest. The relationship at the center of the show is intense, messy, sometimes unhealthy, but deeply human. It explores emotional dependency, insecurity, personal growth, and the way love can both heal and complicate you at the same time. There are moments that are funny. Yes, but there are also moments that hit uncomfortably close to home because it doesn't shy away from reality. It shows how love intersects with mental health, addiction, and identity in a way that feels raw and unfiltered. If you're looking for lesbian films on Netflix, or in this case, a series that pushes beyond traditional romance and gives you something deeper, Feel Good is one of those unforgettable experiences that people keep recommending for a reason. Number 2 is Blue is the Warmest Color, 2013. This one is intense, and I mean emotionally overwhelming intense. Blue is the Warmest Color is one of the most talked about lesbian romantic movies ever, and whether people love it or debate it, one thing is clear: it leaves an impact. The story follows Adele, a young woman navigating identity, desire, and first love when she meets Emma. And what follows is not just a romance. It's a full emotional journey. This film doesn't hold back. It explores love in a way that feels immersive, sometimes uncomfortable, but undeniably real. You see the excitement of first connection, the passion, the growth, and eventually the emotional distance that can develop over time. And that's what makes it powerful, because it doesn't pretend love is always perfect. It shows how it evolves, how it changes, how sometimes even the most intense relationships don't last the way you expect them to. It's long, it's detailed, and yes, it's heavy, but that emotional depth is exactly why it's considered a masterpiece. If you're looking for lesbian romantic movies on Netflix that are raw, immersive, and emotionally complex, this is one of those films you watch once and never forget. Before we get to number 1, if you love discovering lesbian romance movies on Netflix that are actually worth calling masterpieces, help us keep this WLW watch list growing. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop your own must-watch films in the comments. Because honestly, some of the best recommendations come from you. Now, number 1. Number 1 is A Secret Love, 2020. This is not just a masterpiece. This is something deeper. A Secret Love tells the real-life story of Pat Henschel and Terry Donahue, a professional baseball player who fell in love in 1947 and stayed together for nearly 70 years. 70 years. But here's the part that makes this story unforgettable. They kept their relationship a secret for most of their lives because they had to. This isn't a story filled with dramatic twists or exaggerated conflict. It's quiet, personal, and incredibly emotional. You watch their life unfold through decades, the love, the sacrifices, the small everyday moments that define a relationship. And what hits the hardest isn't just their love. It's their resilience. The way they built a life together in a world that didn't accept, the way they protected each other, the way they stayed committed through time, aging, and change. It's real in a way that fiction sometimes can't match. There are moments in this film that feel so genuine, so raw, that you almost forget you're watching a documentary. It feels like being trusted with someone's life story. And by the end, it doesn't just make you emotional. It makes you reflect on love, on time, on what it means to truly share a life with someone. That's why it's number one. Because when people talk about masterpiece lesbian films on Netflix, this is the kind of story that defines that word. So those are the top 5 lesbian romance movies on Netflix that everyone agrees are masterpieces. Did your personal masterpiece make the list? Or is there a film you believe deserves to be here that people don't talk about enough? Drop it in the comments. I'm always looking for more good lesbian films to watch on Netflix.